A massive catastrophe wipes out 9 billion people and destroys the world. In the aftermath, a corporation named the Network takes over the Earth's resources, assigns them to a selected few, and holds the remaining 2 billion people as slaves. 25 years later, in 2154, the director of the network, Adam, designs a game named the Redemption Games, in which, after their memories are wiped clean, 10 slaves enter the puzzle, Andron, out of whom only one would survive. He then promises freedom to the winner of the game and to 3 people of their choice, while he orders the rest of the slaves to follow the transmission and bet on a contestant. One day, a woman named Eleanor wakes up and finds herself in a dim, shabby room. Confused, she quietly scans the room and is terrified to see that nothing seems familiar. To make matters worse, Eleanor soon realizes that she has no memory of anything, including her name. Alarmed and hoping to escape the darkness, Eleanor starts running as fast as she can until she stumbles upon another confused woman named Valerie. Upon seeing one another, the women bombard each other with numerous questions, trying to figure out who they are and where they are. Then, before they can even catch their breath, the duo notices some movement.
Hey, did you see that?
Before the duo can even register what they see, strange sounds radiate through the place, which scares them into running for their lives through a series of stairs. After a few minutes of running, the women reach 2 confused men named Alexander and Luke and start asking them questions.
I seen who?
That woman dressed in white.
Alexander goes out to inspect the women's claims, but despite his best efforts, finds nothing. On the other side of the giant Andron structure, 3 people named Christoph, Julian, and Yoon, who also have no idea about who or where they are, try to inspect their surroundings and figure out their location. After a few minutes of walking around, Christoph is thrown off by a painful and brief flashback.
Hey, you okay?
Elsewhere, Luke finds strange sheets of symbols and carefully inspects them with the help of Valerie and Eleanor, desperately hoping to find some clue that would help them demystify the shenanigan. However, this is interrupted by a frantic Alexander.
Did you stop this?
No shit, Sherlock.
As Valerie, Eleanor, and Luke follow Alexander out of the room to a secret passageway behind some old lockers, Julian, June, and Christoph continue their tiring and confusing journey through the endless line of dim corridors, which leave them with more questions than answers. After a few minutes of aimless wandering, Eleanor's group reaches a makeshift interrogation room and is terrified to see what's inside.
Is she dead?
No, she's still breathing.
Soon the group realizes that the window in front of them is actually a one-way mirror, and that the agitated man inside, named Fly, can't see them. Once Fly retreats to the corner of the room, Alexander and Luke quietly walk in to check on the unconscious woman, named Anita. However, as soon as the duo reaches Anita, Fly strikes. Luckily, Valerie comes to the rescue. Elsewhere, Julian and his group continue their exploration around Andron and come up on a hooded figure who soon starts chasing them. Back in the interrogation room, despite Anita's pledge that she has never seen Fly before, the group ties him to the wall so that he will remain subdued. Then Eleanor looks at herself in the mirror and is quite surprised by how she looks, as she has no recollection of her image. However, unbeknownst to the group, a shadowy figure lurks around and watches their interaction closely. Seeing Eleanor's confusion, Anita explains the phenomenon and tries to calm everyone down.
It's called selective amnesia.
Then, following Alexander's lead, Valerie and Anita go out to continue their exploration, while Luke and Eleanor stay behind to keep an eye on Fly.
Do you know something? I'm talking to you. Where are we?
Then, as Alexander continues leading the group, Anita is separated from them. Seeing that they have no way of getting through the door, Alexander advises the panicked Anita to calm down and promises to find her soon. Elsewhere, the hooded figure follows Julian, who gets separated from his group and corners him. Luckily, Julian thinks on his feet and quietly and cleverly hides from his pursuer. After searching for a few more minutes, the figure gives up, changes its direction, and follows Christoph in Yoon's trail. Moments later, the figure closes in on the duo and tries to rattle them. Jun is shaken by this and tries to hide. However, in a shocking turn of events, she's suffocated to death by Christoph. Elsewhere, this first death is reported to Adam, who joyfully observes and monitors every step of this wicked game.
One toddled home, and then there were 9.
Back in the maze, Valerie and Alexander return to the interrogation room and report that they have lost Anita. Then as the rest try to process this, Julian and Christoph converge on the interrogation room simultaneously. As soon as he sees Christoph, Julian demands to know where Yoon is, but Christoph covers up his crime and attributes her disappearance to the hooded figure. Before the rest can ask details about this, the hooded figure arrives and, after a brief, intense moment, reveals itself to be another contestant named Gabriella. As soon as Christoph sees that his pursuer is not some mystical superhuman force, as he feared, he gathers his courage and attempts to attack Gabriella. Fortunately, Alexander intervenes in time and stops him. Then as Gabriella explains that she's been in the maze for the past month, she's interrupted by Fly, who suddenly recognizes her, although he doesn't know how or from where.
We have to move fast.
The wall successfully separates Eleanor, Julian, and Fly from the rest. Then, fearing for more unforeseen interventions, Eleanor and Julian free Fly, and the trio escapes the interrogation room. On the other side, as the group tries to figure out what's going on, they are suddenly rattled by what they see. Hoping to get rid of the image of the woman in white, the group shatters the window vainly and proceeds to escape. Then, unexpectedly, the window starts to close in, resulting in more disaster. Elsewhere, Anita finds herself chained, and before she can register her surroundings, she's attacked. Inside the maze, Julian urges Fly to remember how he knows Gabriella, to no avail. Then, while his friends continue on, Julian becomes distracted by a symbol on the wall and cautiously approaches it. Meanwhile, as Eleanor and Fly proceed with their exploration, the system alerts Adam that the contenders are going off track. Soon, troopers are sent to attack them and soon surround them. Luckily, Julian arrives in time and uses his new gauntlet to attack the troopers and rescue his friends.
But there's a passageway back here. Come on!
Adam watches on from his tower and smiles with delight as things get more chaotic in the maze. Meanwhile, once out of immediate danger, Eleanor notices Julian's new gadget and tries to find out what it is.
I can't move my hand. It's just attached itself to my arm.
On the other side, Alexander notices that they all have different tattoos on the back of their necks and wonders where they come from and what their meanings are. Elsewhere, after analyzing everything that's been happening, Julian realizes that they're being closely monitored and looks around trying to find hidden cameras and microphones. Despite looking straight through the camera that's been disguised well, Julian fails at locating it and gives up. Utterly delighted by the chaos in the maze, Adam decides to turn things up and send some fragmented memories to Eleanor and Fly.
I was a soldier. The Siege of Malta.
Afterwards, the trio realize that their last memory is from different centuries and discuss so that they can find out the right time frame. Elsewhere, seeing this, Adam is unnerved by the contestants' unexpected awareness and tries to find the reason behind it. He then calls his personal assistant, Adora, and orders her to find the neural anomaly causing it. In the maze, just as troopers proceed to kill Anita, Adam intervenes.
Tell me why the others are unstable.
Meanwhile, Alexander's group successfully relates the tattoos to the wall symbols and tries to find out their significance.
So we saw them before, remember?
Yeah, on that wall.
Outside, Adam finishes up the necessary preparations and hosts the game live to the world.
Honor to her! Honor to her!
Inside the Andron, Gabriella suddenly remembers that she used to be a cop for the network. As she shares this, Gabriella finds a wall signal that matches her tattoo and approaches it.
Contender's DNA identified.
As Gabriella shows off her new machine gun, betting goes off the charts, which pleases the head of the network, Chancellor Gordon. Inside the maze, Eleanor hears noises and follows them.
Aren't you remembering yet?
A few minutes later, the two groups of contenders finally reunite, but before they can even interact properly, they are surrounded by the masked troopers who start to attack them. After an intense and lengthy battle, Gabrielle is killed. As contenders suddenly go off-grid and the worldwide viewing is interrupted, Chancellor Gordon approaches Adam and gives him a stern warning to get things back online so that the current feverish betting is maintained, and threatens him with dire consequences should he fail to deliver. Inside the maze, Alexander, Kristoff, and Valerie reach Anita and rescue her. Anita then shares what she knows about the Andron.
All this is Andron, the quest for the contenders.
She then corroborates Gabriella's story and informs them that they were all slaves who volunteered to join the game to buy freedom for themselves and those they love.
No, don't. You have nano cameras attached to your retina. They view this whole experience through your eyes.
Anita then fries the conditioning unit and leads the contestants in their effort to stay off-grid. Then Adam reveals a secret about one of the contestants.
Last year's winner.
I have decided to take part in the next redemption game.
Meanwhile, inside the maze, Anita explains how she managed to corrupt the game.
The slaves can bet their freedom on you.
She then continues educating the group about their predicament.
The double conditioning caused a brain trauma. He knew the risk. He wanted to play again.
Then Anita announces that they must first reunite with the rest of the group so that they can all go to a crypt and win the game. She then adds that the catastrophe that reshaped the world was designed by the network, which shocks the contestants to their core. Meanwhile, in Julian's group, Fly regains some of his memory and is quite shaken up to learn that he's already played and won the game in a previous edition. After a few minutes, the two groups of contenders are happily reunited and update each other on everything the other missed. But before they can finish their discussion, the masked troopers appear out of nowhere and start attacking the group. After an intense and difficult battle, the group manages to neutralize the troopers. Seeing this, Adam manipulates Kristoff's neural connection, which causes him to unexpectedly kill Fly. As soon as this occurs in the game, thousands of slaves from all over the world who had bet on the unsuspecting victim drop dead.
Contender eliminated.
To make matters worse, Kristoff then challenges Alexander to a fight and starts to attack him brutally. Soon, Julian steps in and uses his gauntlet to beat Kristoff, but he proves too strong. Luckily, Valerie reaches her wall signal in time, accesses it, and finds a machine gun, which she quickly uses to kill Kristoff. The remaining contenders, Alexander, Julian, Valerie, Anita, and Eleanor, then find the next puzzle nearby. Anita uses her wit to solve it, and the group passes through. Elsewhere, Adam becomes increasingly agitated by what he sees. To add to his stress, Chancellor Gordon soon appears and blames him for ruining their plan of rigging the game to keep the number of slaves on the planet to a minimum. Backed into a corner, Adam devises a more dangerous plan to make sure no one makes it out alive, hence to also kill the millions who have bet on the game. In Andron, after passing through the signal, the group finds themselves in a desert, and Anita freaks out, announcing that something's wrong with the game. But before she can explain what she means, she's killed by Eleanor, who reveals a shocking secret.
I remember now.
You remember what?
Adam, he treated us like daughters.
Julian tries to calm down Eleanor and reminds her that she's been conditioned, and none of what she remembers is true, but it falls on deaf ears. Releasing that they are in grave danger, the trio runs as fast as they can, but finds themselves passed out on the floor of a cave. Seeing this, Adam hits the final nail in his revenge plan by ordering Andorra to call the cops on the corrupt chancellor, who has been rigging games for money. In Andron, Alexander motivates Valerie to stay strong and fight until the end. Soon, Eleanor appears out of nowhere and attacks Alexander. Luckily, Valerie fights back, kills Eleanor, rescues Alexander, and the duo makes it out of the game for a temporary respite.